JP Morgan came out and said, hey, there's something going on. This was a couple of weeks ago. They said, there's this thing going on. We're going to call it the debasement trade. And what the debasement trade means is they're creating more and more dollars. So they're debasing the currency. So people are trading or investing accordingly. And here's how this looks. This is from Luke Roman. Here's how this looks in different asset classes. You can see in US dollar terms, the NDX, which is the Nasdaq, is up 165% since COVID. S&P is up 102%. House prices are up 56%. Sounds great, right? Except that's in US dollar terms. If you look at it in other terms, well, in gold, the NDX is only up 7%. The SPX and real estate prices are actually down in gold terms. And in Bitcoin, well, everything's getting crushed, right? So this is the debasement trade. They're debasing the currency. So there's more of these units pushing asset prices up. That's what they're talking about. So we went through our notes, and this is something that we started speaking about in 2012. The next 3 slides are actually slides from a presentation we did in 2012 when we started talking about gold, and the real estate investors in the room were like, guys, are you crazy? Why are you talking about gold? You sound like an old man talking about gold. But we were talking about the debasement trade before it had this term, because we looked at the trends and we saw the US debt started growing at a pace like this. This was from 2012 when the US debt was almost $16 billion and now, $16 trillion. And it seemed outrageous that it was going to keep growing at this pace because it was growing so fast that we mapped it out. And we said, hey, look, it took 286 days for it to go to 15 trillion to $16 trillion. And then if we map it out at the same pace, by 2015, it's going to be at $20 trillion, which seemed outrageous at the time. And it did not hit 20 trillion by 2015. It took all the way to 2017 for it to hit 20 trillion. And now it's pushing in the high 30 trillion. I think it's 36 or 38 trillion. I've lost count. It's going crazy. But that is what the debasement trade is. So it looks like this in different asset classes. These are US asset classes or global asset classes. And specifically when you price it in Canadian dollars, here's different asset classes priced in Canadian dollars. Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Same trends are happening. Same debasement is happening. So, and it's not just happening locally in like the country level or the individual investor. You can see what's happening now is its countries are looking to go back into the gold trade. So gold is about to surpass US treasuries as the main reserve asset in the world for the first time in 30 years. So this is what happened for a period of time. Central banks were getting out of gold. They're like, oh, we'll just hold these US treasury things. They're just as good. But what they realized is